Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely a pleasure for me to be in this very electrifying group among all of you this evening. I saw some wonderful entrepreneurs this evening before coming on the stage, and I'm already very inspired to be among all of them. On this ET, this is the 10th season of Leaders of Tomorrow Awards, and I can say that every single award season has been very thrilling. And the ET team actually puts together a daily show 5 days a week, all through the year. I think the amount of work that goes behind the scene to put this together, this is only a climax that you see today, but really all through the year, a big round of applause to the ET team. The term Leaders of Tomorrow is also, I'd say, inspiring because it talks of leadership and it talks of tomorrow. You're not rooted in today, rooted in tomorrow. And there is something to look forward to for all entrepreneurs here, and hopefully many of you will win awards today, which will inspire you even more. Now, I come from the banking system, and I brought some numbers for you to give you a quick color about how large the financing industry is. Each one of you would know for your respective industries, but I'll just talk to you about, let me say, our industry. So the lending market, just in case you, some of you may or may not know, the lending market in the country is about 140 lakh crores right now. And as you might have learned, you might read from the papers, growing at about, this year, growing at about 17% per year, YOY. Now, of that amount, close to about 50 lakh crores is personal lending. Car loans, home loans, credit cards, that kind of stuff. Personal lending. Close to about 70 lakh crores is lending to large corporates, which is greater than 50 crore ticket size. Greater than 50 crores. Now, the next category is loan ticket sizes, which is about 10 crore to 50 crore. These are called medium enterprises. So as I read through this stack, you can look back in your respective lives and think and understand whether you're small, medium, large. Just you can bracket yourself, at least for this context. And one level below that are called the small enterprises. They have usually ticket sizes of a loan of between 1 crore to 10 crore. And the borrowing of ticket sizes less than between 10 lakhs to 1 crore is called micro loans. And below that is called very small loans. Now, let me say these are the 4 or 5 stacks. Now, if you were to take a guess about the ticket sizes, what's the extent of exposure? Like I told you about 70 lakh crores is large enterprises. Only 8.7 lakh crores is medium enterprises. Just see the cliff, how it drops. And that is, in terms of order of magnitude, about 1:1,000. Means there are 1,000 more number of medium enterprises than compared to large. And the cliff drops like that. Small enterprises, which are millions of them, only 9.3 lakh crores. And micro enterprises, which are really what we talk the 60 million in India, that's only 5.7 lakh crores. So you see the stack, that's 60, 70, 8.7, 9.3, and 5.7. So the point is, therefore, that historically in this country, small entrepreneurs' credit has been really very little. Now, therefore, small entrepreneurs are operating out of equity of their respective lives. And all of us know, the people who have been through financial circles, that lending on the basis of your own personal money, not lending, I mean doing business out of your own equity is a very inefficient way of doing, because you need leverage to really, to compound your returns on your equity and all that. So large corporates also have access to, let me say, bond markets. They have access to the equity markets. Most of them are listed as well, or many of them are listed as well. So they get money at cheaper and cheaper rates. Maybe large enterprises probably to borrow at maybe 8.5, 9% somewhere there in today's market conditions. But the irony is that as you go down the pyramid, the harder the life, as all of us know, the harder the life for the small or micro entrepreneur, the borrowing cost is the highest, 16%, 18%. So it's an extraordinary irony and tragedy of our ecosystem that the small entrepreneurs are having to borrow at 15, 18, 20%. If you're really micro entrepreneur, like the microfinance entrepreneur, you're borrowing at 20 to 23%. Now, you have to therefore think about, we often, at least at our bank, we often think about, listen, this is fine, it is the way it is because the operating cost of that ecosystem is more. But then we say that, how do we reduce this? And we truly think we built a bank really from zero base. And in terms of a culture, in terms of thinking, in terms of what we want to build, we really, it's not just a slogan for us, customer first, you first, and all that. We're really meaning it. We're embedding it in every single product the bank is making. And to connect it back to the conversation, we are trying to reduce the cost of operations for each of these segments of business. And of course, in due course, we'll be able to further bring down our lending rates and so on. At least that's our, that's really something we are working for. And massive amount of digitization is being done at the bank in terms of our processes, digital journeys, and so on and so forth, which will further bring down the cost and will benefit our customers. The other thing is that when you look at these small entrepreneurs, then you also think of the tax structure. Budget season is around the air, and oftentimes people say, give me your view, or what do you think can be done better, etc. I have always wished, I've been thinking and talking about this for many years, somehow I've not had any success on this, is to say that, the tax rate for large corporates, remember the block I told you, the 65, 70 lakh crore borrowers? So these people, for us, including our organization, for us the tax rates are, 25%. Even when you go down the stack and small entrepreneurs, everybody is 25%. In fact, if you're a partnership, it's worse. It's even more. So the point is that one of the wishes I've really been having is that if the small entrepreneurs, if up to a certain amount is actually tax-free, like, even for individuals, there is a progressive tax code, right? Up to a certain amount, say probably 5 lakhs or something, we pay zero tax. Small entrepreneurs also, low amount. Then after that, it's taxed up to 5%. Then on progressive basis, only on incremental basis, it's taxed for 10%. Then progressive basis, 15, then 20, then 25. We don't need to reduce this at the top slab. All of us are large corporations; we can afford to pay that. But I'm talking about small entrepreneurs. If this sort of a progressive tax structure is there for the system, then small entrepreneurs earning 1 crore, 1.5 crores, 2 crores of PAT, or income before tax, they will pay lesser tax amount. And the benefit will be that many of them, to the extent that they operate in parallel economy, by the way, parallel economy has come down dramatically in India in the last maybe 6 or 7 years. All of you are experiencing that. But even to the extent that, I know, for example, gym trainers or people who are doing odd service at home, oftentimes they would probably open 2 accounts, one in the name, spouse's name, take some income there, take some income there, so that they don't have to hit the slab. All those practices will go away, and the country will get, and by the way, they have the most difficult life. They borrowed the highest rate. So they borrowed the highest rate. For them to attract talent is very hard because they are relatively small. They're probably often located a little more off the headquarters. Let me say Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Madras. They're probably a little off in tier 2, tier 3 cities, probably headquartered. So, so generally speaking, we all agree that their life is relatively hard. So therefore, we can't really compensate for all their hardness because, unfortunately, it is a very competitive capitalist world. But tax can be one way of giving them a shoulder to give them support. That will be one significant wish / message out of this one session we have today. Second thing is that the other thing when we think of small entrepreneurs or medium entrepreneurs, I told you the various stack today, is for us to note that there is a serious amount of formalization that is happening in the Indian economy. And as entrepreneurs, we can have this heading called Leaders of Tomorrow, but I can guarantee you'll never become leader if you're not going to catch on to the new wave of technology that is happening. And if your marketing is not become digital, if your loan processing has not become digital, or your respective business will not become digital, if your app is not fantastic, and if all that, or if your UI, UX, the design, if all those things don't come together, you'll really be inefficient, and we can never become leaders of tomorrow. So if there's one comment I would like to say, I would say we got to figure out how even small entrepreneurs, medium entrepreneurs have to constantly say, how are we going to digitize from here? If we don't digitize, if we don't jump onto the new ecosystem, we can forget this, the leaders of tomorrow. For example, what is really happening is the ecosystem around us, because nobody's living in isolation, all of us know. Ecosystem around us is so dramatically changed last 7 years alone. Forget what happened before that. Now, first came the Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, all the three. By the way, it opened 400 million accounts in this country for in a span of 1 year. I think our country has done really an amazing job to even, probably 10 times the size of 10 Australia's put together. That's the number of accounts India has opened. And that's really very, very hard. Remember, you're opening accounts of the people who are really, really below, bottom of the pyramid and all that. Number two, the amount of, we all know how the telecom industry has come. India is going to have something like 800 million smartphones, not phones, smartphones, which is enabling commerce, enabling quick commerce, social commerce, all that. Then the next big change that is happening in the ecosystem is how AI/ML is coming about, and AI/ML is dramatically changing. It's not like step function jump. It's like a dramatic, it's not a casual increase. It's like a dramatic step function jump that's happening. Then the credit bureaus have come into the country, which is a really big deal. Now the OCAN is coming, which is a big deal. UPI was, of course, all of us know how the amount of formalization that happened. Then, by the way, the ONDC is a massive, massive thing. I don't know whether many of you have got onto it or not, but ONDC is like, think about it. Today, you order from Amazon or Flipkart, somebody's storing somewhere and sending you the goods. But here, your next door neighbor, a shop can come and deliver to you using this, ONDC protocol. Think about it. You want to order something, next door will come and deliver. You're not delivering from Amazon or somewhere, not landing at your place. It's just coming from your next door and can revolutionize the small entrepreneurs around you. So these sorts of massive ecosystem changes are happening in the country today. And our small entrepreneurs have to quickly jump on this bandwagon and make the effort to be part of that story. Otherwise, like I said, where this will head. Therefore, in this context of the COVID that has happened in the country for the last maybe 2 or 3 years, many of our entrepreneurs have, despite COVID, come through and won these awards today. So I must say, very, very heartiest compliments and congratulations to every one of you for winning your awards today. I met this 19-year-old, then 19-year-old, still looking 19-year-old, Ritesh Agarwal here. Can you, there he is. So some of these stories inspire all of us because wonderful. He said he dropped out of college. I said, man, you did absolutely the right thing because you really covered so much ground in the same 8 years. But he also told me he became EBITDA positive. So all of you can compliment him for that. So after 8 years of being a startup. So similarly, I met, Ease My Trip, an entrepreneur promoter came and met me just now and told me about his story, again, very inspiring. So when I hear this story, I say, man, what an amazing country we're building. Just so many of them coming across the country, and I'm only referring to 2. I met just so many of you. So that is, and then that throws up a, ecosystem of its own. And no wonder, when India is talking of economy and all this stuff, our economy is firing. We know the short-term economy, CRISIL ratings have gone up, and they're saying, look, companies are less leveraged now, and therefore they can play the next capex cycle. Farm, car sales, two-wheeler sales, all looking good. So short-term is looking good. Just one last closing point, I want to leave you with this number. To give you one idea of the extent of only consumer credit, not entrepreneur credit, consumer credit. Consumer credit in the country, which is car loans, home loans, that kind of stuff, that is about $600 billion outstanding book today. Annual disbursal is $200 billion. Just keep this number somewhere in your mind. Annual disbursal of home loans, car loans, $200 billion in this country. By 2030, this number of $200 billion, by our estimates, is going to be close to about $800 billion every year, okay? So which means $200 billion today, say 250, 300, whatever, it goes on up to $800 billion. So if you take the cumulative of 8 years leading up to 2030, that will be like $400 billion, that's about $4.5 trillion. Which means in next 8 years, this will give you with some numbers in your mind and to tell you what is the power that India is coming out with. In the next 8 years, in other words, you add up this 200, 250, 350, you stack it all up. India is going to disburse in consumer credit alone close to about $4 trillion in the next 8 years, leading up to 2030. What does this mean? It is not just good business for us and all that. It also means that this $8 trillion, this $4 trillion, that number of cars, that number of homes, that number of houses, something going to be purchased with money. People are not going to keep it in their homes. When you buy a car, that amount of steel production, buy a home, that amount of cement, etc., that amount of production is going to, that is the amount of momentum that is going to pull this economy, and that will really do good for our country. Last thing, I started this meeting by saying that our bank is new, and therefore we are truly putting together something very special in this country. We really believe every day we're thinking about making customer first products. I want to just leave with you one small note here about what we have put together. There's a stack here, and some of you will have probably access to it. We'll probably have access to it. We have actually said, I'll give you the set of things our bank is really putting together special for our customers. You're entrepreneurs, and many of you, and therefore I request you to have a relationship with us. People opening current accounts. We are telling them that it's not just a current account. We are saying, okay, now we also stack up. In the same stack, we are saying we're embedding an ERP solution. We have a tie-up with Adda, MyGate, eSiksha, Practo. Then we have embedded some HRMS solutions. Razorpay, Grey HR, legal solutions, career tax, logistics, so on, e-commerce company, InstaMojo. So basically what we're doing is in our solutions, we're embedding just so many solutions. When you take a product, you're getting all this as a stack together. That is really something. But that is not the only thing. When we finally put together our solutions for our customers, we find that, listen, there are so many charges in the country, all 20 rupees, 2 rupees, 5 rupees, 8 rupees, every other time statement is getting debited. Customers get irritated, or customers don't know sometimes, either way it's bad. And then we actually said, I'll read a list of services which are literally made free because customers don't understand. We said IMPS charges, then there's a number of cash transactions at the branches, usually charged. Value of cash transactions free. Third-party cash transactions in the branch free. NEFT charges free, RTGS charges free, checkbook charges free, SMS alert charges free, demand draft issuance free, duplicate statements at branch free, passbook charges free, balance certificate free, inter-certificate free, account closure, ECS return free. This list goes on and on. I mean, you get the drift. And then it goes on. So basically, our bank has said, man, we don't want to chip our customers like this, everything. So customers are very, very happy. I was meeting investors before coming in. They said, look, I don't understand how your bank grew deposits so much. I said, first become a customer, then you'll know how our deposits are growing like this. Okay? So that's what I'd like to leave you with. Our bank is really putting an effort in this space. And we believe this story is really getting amazing. And all we have to do is to play very safe and steady, like the Rahul Dravid style. And I think we'll come good. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and to all the winners awards, very strong wishes to us. Bye.